Mr. Casmar?
Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for February 21st, 2013 to order at 8:04 p.m. On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Here.
Castiglia.
Here.
Councilman Conboy is absent. Petagano.
Here.
Bonsino.
Here.
Coletti.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Will everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? O God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting, which we trust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our heart. Plant them in a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the meeting, I'd just like to indicate that this meeting is covered by our own website and by cable channel 77. It'll be on Tuesday at 12 noon, Thursday at 4 p.m., and Friday at 11 a.m. I wish I can put this in our local paper, but it changes every 6 months. It's not our fault for changing it. Cable does it that way, and we're just conforming to what they're doing. So again, 12 noon, Tuesday, Thursday, 4 p.m., Friday, 11 a.m. Thank you. Mr. Casmark?
Mayor, the statement of compliance.
Excuse me?
Statement of compliance.
Oh, I have to do that, huh? Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires the commencement of each meeting by the presiding officer, now therefore be advised the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by posting an annual notice in the Bergen Record of Hackensack and the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as in a public place within the municipal building and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2013.
Mayor, this evening under the approval of minutes, we have the January 24th, 2013 work session, January 24th, 2013 executive session, February 7th, 2013 regular meeting, and the February 14th, 2013 executive session.
Motion, please.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Bonsino, second by Mr. Coletti, or Mr. Castiglia, I'm sorry.
One of us.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy is absent. Petagano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Motion carried. Mayor, this evening under ordinances on first reading, we have Resolution 76-13. Introduce Ordinance 13-5 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Traffic by amending Ordinance 7-23 thereof be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, March 7th, 2013 at 8 p.m. or soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing is required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bonsino, Mr. Petagano, any discussion? This is an ordinance that we're being asked to approve by the County of Bergen. This is on Midland Avenue. We continually have problems with the cars moving up to the railroad tracks and getting but stuck between the railroad tracks and the gate. They're in front of the gate, and when the train comes, there's always the problem of a car being hit. So they're trying to now change that a little bit, and this ordinance, if you're going south, going toward Garfield on Midland Avenue, you cannot make a right turn into a little street, industrial street from there, and that's what creates some of the problems. So you have to go down and then make a left turn onto Industrial Avenue. So we'll explain that again next week, 2 weeks from now. I'm sorry. This is an ongoing problem with that crossing. I've been to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 meetings over there. And they're always trying to do something, but it's not working. And hopefully this will help us out. Call a roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy is absent. Petagano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under the consent agenda, we have Resolution R77-13, payment of bills, Resolution 78-13, confirmation of checks, Resolution 79-13, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 80-13, authorized resolution to execute the consent decree for settlement in the action entitled New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection versus Occidental Chemical Corporation et al. R81-13, authorization of review and amendment to the hazard mitigation plan. Resolution 82-13, change order number 3 and final 2011 road resurfacing program. Resolution 83-13, change order number 1, 2012 road resurfacing program. Resolution 84-13, appoint volunteer firefighter Salvatore Ferrara. Resolution 85-13, appoint volunteer firefighter David Penna. Resolution 86-13, a resolution authorizing the tax-exempt status for real estate property known as Block 1002, Lot 12, due to a 100% disabled veteran status. And Resolution 87-13, supporting the delay of draining 3 reservoirs on Garrett Mountain and replacing them with large concrete tanks.
Motion, please.
So moved.
A second.
That's Mr. Coletti, Mr. Catamagna. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members: Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy is absent. Petagano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Motion carries. Under departmental reports, we have the Police Department report for January 2013, the Elmwood Park Public Library minutes from December 17th, 2012, and the Police Department annual report for 2012.
Motion to receive and file, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia and Mr. Bonsino. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? So ordered.
Aye.
Committee reports.
Mayor,
Mr.
excuse me, we have one application for the St. Leo's Home and School Association 50/50 raffle.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
A
Mr.
second.
Coletti, second by Mr. Catamagna. Any discussion? If there is, you'll be ostracized from the Catholic Church, so think about that, gentlemen. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's the first time we've ever had a unanimous aye.
It was loud.
Mr. Catamagna,
Be
you,
afraid.
Mayor.
committee report.
Yes, Mayor, I don't have much. The only thing is, last night I went to the Board of Education meeting, and I thought I was going to hear a lot of things. I guess it's the same thing, and that we heard it before, I guess. The only thing is, Mr. Egan said that there will be no cuts so far. So that means that my job is secure for next year.
I thought you were leaving this year.
That's okay.
That's okay.
At least don't do any cuts.
Thank you,
Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Mr. Bonsino.
Yes, Mayor. Couple items. First, if you indulge me, I want to just review the New Jersey SEM data that I presented last meeting. I felt I kind of got wrapped around the numbers, and when I drove home that night, I couldn't figure out what I said. So
We couldn't either, so I'm glad you
I do that often, but I wanted to repeat them one more time. As you know, we're a member of the New Jersey SEM, and we buy gas and electric commodity as a pool with about 110 other municipalities in the state of New Jersey. 4 years ago, we entered into the program, and for the gas commodity 4 years ago, we paid $8.84 a decatherm. That was a fixed number for the course of the 12-month contract. We just concluded the auction for gas for the present contract at $5.20 per decatherm. So over the 4 years, that's a 40% savings on the gas commodity. If we weren't in the SEM and we procured the gas, the natural gas through our regular supplier, we would be paying about $6.78 a decatherm. So this year we'll be realizing approximately a 23% savings by being a member of the New Jersey SEM. We'll be going out for the electric commodity early next month. We're preparing for that auction now. So hopefully it was a little clearer this time around. I'm not going to do it a third time. The ambulance corps, I know we're a few months out, but they'll be having their annual car show. I was trying to find the dates. It'll be June 2nd. It's a Sunday. The rain date is June 9th. It'll be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. There's a change in venue. This year it'll be held at 669 River Drive. In previous years it was at the Kmart lot. This year it's at River Drive Center. I'll make a mention of it as we get closer to the June date. And finally, I just wanted to make some points. Our Police Department Chief Johnson prepared the 2012 annual report, the performance of the department. A couple of highlights. In 2012, officers logged 210,247 miles patrolling the borough of Elmwood Park. With a staff of 33, if you look at the metric of summonses issued over the course of the year, the 33 officers produced numbers on par with when the department had in excess of 40 members, which highlights the productivity of the current staff. They're doing a really good job with less down there, and I have to commend everybody downstairs on that. And finally, there's a summary of violent crime rates, and in Elmwood Park, the violent crime rate for 2012 is estimated to be 1.2 crimes per thousand, which is below the county average and well below the state average. So we're doing a very good job. The department's going to continue their community policing model. When you see an officer, stop and talk to them. They're really engaged with our community, and again, I commend them. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Castiglia?
Yes, Mayor. First of all, I went to that Board of Education meeting with Councilman Caramagna last night. We couldn't really hear everything that was being said, but the drift that I got was this state monitor will have his report on his recommendations either in April or May, I believe he said. I thought first it was March, then they moved it later on. So we'll be getting a report from him probably in April or May, which will tell us what our Board of Education is going to be doing for the next couple of years to try to fix some of the problems that were there. Also, Mayor, we had no planning board work meeting this month. Things are slowing down a little bit. We did have a public meeting on the 13th. There was just one application. A realty company that handles just commercial accounts, lease and sale of commercial properties, will be coming in down on 669 River Drive, which is the River Drive complex. The office buildings across the street from Hillman's. They'll be coming in there. I had a short conversation with the owner of that realty company out here after the meeting was over, and he seems really knowledgeable of what he's doing, and I think his company is going to be a good addition to our business people in town here. As far as the DPW is concerned, they've been working on maintaining and repairing snow equipment and hopefully staying ahead of the next snowfall or whatever Mother Nature will be throwing at us next. They're getting ready for that. I'm going to take one more shot. I'm going to take one more shot at trying to simplify the new snow signs that are on the roads. It's a trial basis. Okay. I understand that there is a lot of confusion with the signs. Maybe some of the wording needs to be changed. They're not permanent signs. It's a trial basis, temporary. Basically, what it comes down to try to simplify it as much as I can. On an odd-numbered date, you can park on the odd-numbered side of the street where the houses have odd numbers. Same goes for the even-numbered dates. You park on the side of the street that has even-numbered houses. That's supposed to be as simple as it gets. I understand there's a time on the signs that are confusing people also. We're going to try to address that. It's not a permanent thing yet. It might not even be going into effect at all. Like I said, it's on a trial basis. We're trying to see if it helps our DPW plow the streets a little more efficiently than they can do now. The idea of it is to have people park on one side of the street one day, and the center of the street and the opposite side of the street gets plowed right to the curb. And then the following day, those cars would be moved to the other side of the street, and then that side of the street would get plowed right to the curb. And then the job is done. That's the theory.
If I may,
we really haven't.
I have a question on that, because I had experience of confusion in my neighborhood also.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You finished with your report?
Yeah, that's it. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands that those parking regulations are just during the snow emergency. They're not, continuously longer than that. Just during the snow emergency.
Mr. Coletti, you have a question?
Not a question. Yeah, I guess it is a question. Where I think the problem comes in is when you're asking those people who are on the opposite side of the street the next morning between 8 and 10 o'clock to dig out their car.
And that's what I just...
That's where I think...
The time situation on the signs is what's throwing everybody off. Like I said, this is a trial thing. It's going to have... it's a trial and error. There's going to be things that need to be corrected, and hopefully there are some parts of it that'll work. Maybe it's going to get thrown out entirely. It's something between us and our police department and our DPW as to what works best.
Thank you.
Tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one.
Mr. Pellegrin? Pedagano, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you, Mayor.
I thought you were still sitting in that seat.
You never know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That gives us a clue.
Elmwood Park Health Department. This month, there's a child clinic, free immunizations, morning and evening for Elmwood Park, Saddlebrook, and Lodi families. These are free vaccinations for infants and children up to 18 years old who require vaccinations for school. There are other reasons, such as if you don't have medical insurance, waiting for family care applications. So by appointment, please call 201-996-2038. Speak to our health officer. She'll set you up, and this is very important to be able to go to school. Free adult health consultation and blood pressure program, March 19th, held at the Senior Center. No appointments are necessary, and this is for, again, Elmwood Park, Saddlebrook, and Lodi. And a reminder to get your dog and cat licenses for 2013. The deadline is February 1st. I don't see a date, but I believe that is what it is. And a reminder, please do not feed stray animals in town. It's becoming a real problem, especially with cats. I actually picked up a cage the other day because I have several cats that like to stare down my little dog, and they're dirty, and they could also have rabies. So please do not feed these animals and catch them. And if you catch one, the county will come and grab it for you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. I apologize for the mistake.
That's okay.
Mr.
Coletti.
Collette.
My colleagues have touched on this school board meeting. I unfortunately have been under the weather just a little bit and haven't been able to attend all my meetings, so I won't touch that. They obviously addressed it. The last captain's meeting I attended with the fire department, there was an issue about fire hydrants and snow removal around them. And I just want the residents to know that there is an ordinance in town, and I won't read the ordinance, access to fire hydrants, and it states, it's the Uniform Fire Code, that if you have a fire hydrant on your premises or the street between the curb and the sidewalk, you are responsible to keep that area clean. Now, I know it might seem unfair because why doesn't your neighbor have to keep it clean? But that's just the way we're set up. We are a volunteer fire department. It's not full-time. It would be ridiculous to think that after a heavy storm, our fire department, who is on alert 24/7, 52, should be out there cleaning every single fire hydrant. It just won't happen. And then comes a fire. And it might be your house that burns down. So I do want to emphasize to the public that we should be cognizant of the fact that if that fire hydrant is in front of your house, please clean it, keep it accessible for our fire department. And there is one silver lining to all this. If you do have a fire hydrant in front of your home, contact your insurance agent, and you should receive some type of a redemption on your insurance premium due to the fact that that fire hydrant's there. So I guess we pay for everything in life, and there is some balance there. We previously in our consent agenda, we approved the Resolution R8013, I just want to touch on that a little bit. Regarding the resolution, Occidental Chemical versus the DEP, our insurance carrier, JIF, represented 31 towns in the case. And they determined at one point that it was prudent to settle this case at a cost of $95,000 to the town of Elmwood Park, with $50,000 being paid by JIF. Our cost basically $45,000. The consent judgment further stated that we can pursue reimbursement from any former insurance carriers prior to our JIF insurance coverage, basically meaning that prior to when JIF, we were picked up by JIF, the insurance carriers that were in place at the time, we can go back at them to see if we can recoup some of our losses there. And as we speak, JIF's legal department is actively pursuing these carriers. So we can possibly recover the whole amount. And I'd like to take the moment to commend JIF on being proactive with their approach in getting us out cheaply and letting the hard polluters deal with the DEP, who I suspect will be paying a lot more money. So basically what has happened is we were kind of guilty because of association and the fact that we were on the Passaic River, that sediment going down the river, polluting the bay, all the towns that were adjacent to this became party to the suit, and getting out at $45,000, which possibly can disappear to nothing, I think was a very, very prudent move. Mayor?
Thank you, and I'd like to thank the attorney for advising us on this item. And do you have any report, Mr. Attorney?
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. This suit could go into the hundreds of thousands of dollars unless we settle in. Our attorney gave us excellent advice on doing this. I said this at the last public meeting. I'm going to say it at each meeting for the next couple meetings. We've been approved to have an outside company come in and look at all the traffic tickets that are outstanding for back years. And anyone watching this video, and you have an outstanding ticket from Elmwood Park, please pay for it, because you're going to be paying for the full price of the ticket, and then I believe it's 20%? 22% additional. By hiring this firm, we don't have to pay the firm. Each ticket that they bring in, the person getting the ticket has to pay an additional 22%. So check your drawers and see if there are any tickets in there for Elmwood Park. We're the first community in northern Bergen County, northern New Jersey, to do this, and I expect a lot of others are going to be doing it also. It's a good way to catch scofflaws, and it's a good way to earn some money. We figure we may end up picking up $300,000 to $400,000 if we catch everybody. I don't think we're going to catch everybody, because I think some people may have passed away at this time or moved away or whatever. But we're trying our best. Secondly, Mr. Coletti made a reference to fire hydrants. I got a call from Channel 12 today. I don't know if they're on television or not, but we have a fire hydrant on the corner of Kip Avenue and Mill Street. We've never had any problem with that fire hydrant over the years. And I know over the years because the people who live on that corner are dear friends of mine for many, many years. Never had that fire hydrant. This year, 3 times already. We've had to replace the fire hydrant 3 times because for some reason the trucks, tractor trailers are coming in Mill Street off Route 46, making a right turn to go down to the industrial complex, which is really in Garfield, but it's off Kip Avenue, and they can't make that right turn. And they've hit that fire hydrant 3 times already. We've had to replace it, and it costs between $2,500 and $3,000 to fix that. Superintendent of the DPW, I think he might have indicated to you, Mr. Castiglia, that it costs about $2,500 to $3,000. We're trying to relocate it. So this is what we're attempting to do. The fire hydrant has been turned off. There's still some seepage coming out because some of these old ones, you can't turn them off completely. So we are working on it. I don't know who called Channel 12, But we're on top of the issue. And since I do know the gentleman there who lives there for so long, I called him up. He literally ran out in the street to try to catch the truck at 4 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't catch the truck, and I called him up the next morning. And he knows me very well, but when I called him, I asked him if he liked the new sprinkling system he put on his front lawn. And he said a few kind words. So we promised him we're going to try to move that fire hydrant. Scott doesn't know where it's going or how we're going to do it, but the problem then exists. We were told, and I don't know how valid it is, maybe you gentlemen can help me, that the GPS has put it down that they go 46, make a right, and then make another right to go down Kip Avenue. They all used to come up Kip Avenue. So how do you change a GPS and we can't find out what firm the truck is going to or coming from? But that's for your information and the people watching this. We are on top of it. And when I called Scott, he said, Mayor, we had 2 more water breaks. We're trying to do the best we can.
Signs out there?
Yeah.
No truck traffic or anything?
Yeah. So, secondly, that's the second one, and I'll keep everyone informed. Markel Paper, the owners of what it was Markel Paper, is trying to put in a new process in there with drumming up electricity for the plant, and then trying to put us on that grid so that we can get a lower price in electricity here in Elmwood Park. Other than that, I don't have anything else. I'd like to open the meeting to the public. Please come to the microphone, speak into the microphone, and please, there's a book there. Sign your name to the book or sheet of paper, whatever it is, so that we have that. Am I correct, Mr. Kazmark?
Yes, sir.
I know this guy.
Let me get a side now. Keith Work, 308 Gilbert Avenue, here to represent Elmwood Park Little League.
I feel like I'm at the Board of Education meeting. You have to sign in.
President, I'm just here to answer some, reply to some of the accusations that were made last public session. Especially regarding, listen, this lawsuit's been going to dead horse, but I can't believe they're still denying it actually happened. Now, unfortunately, some of the people making the statements weren't trustees. I was. I seen all the bills coming that were charged to the
You're a trustee for
I was
who?
trustee for the EPJBL at that time, unfortunately. Like I was in there for a long time. And they're saying that certain individuals, I'm not going to mention names because it's way past due, weren't responsible, but yet there was a lawsuit. We know the outcome of the lawsuit. The verdict was guilty of negligence to nearly almost $13,000. That's done. That's all I'm saying about that. Also, a comment was made about the lease, but I'm not even going to address that. Board of Rec hasn't even voted on it. It's no need to discuss it here. It's a Board of Rec issue. And if it does come up, if it does happen to be approved, if not, we're arguing it really nothing. Matt Katz made a statement about EPJBL was not able to use any Friday nights or Saturdays. Well, we actually switched some dates for them last year, 2 Fridays and 2 Saturdays. I know 3 of the dates, I can't recur the 4th date. But May 11th was a Friday night, June 2nd Saturday, June 16th to allow their players opportunity to play on weekends. So his statement that we did not allow them to play on those dates was wrong. He also made a statement that EPJ would use the field for 2 weeks to host a Little League tournament. Now, I know this sounds ridiculous, and I know it shouldn't be coming here, but I have a permit here, just to show you. A copy of the permit that was issued by the Board of Rec on April 3rd, 2012, with dates we were allowed to use field and EPJBL. There's a date at the far right saying July 9th to July 16th. These are the times we asked for our tournament. That is a total amount of 7 days. Now, I never heard 7 days equating to 2 weeks. So for someone to come up here to lie about that, I think it's ridiculous. And I can show this to you. I can bring it up there. And we actually only used the tournament till the, July 14th, which is only a matter of 5 days. Also, comparing the leads, we are out for the kids here. for everybody. And we ask the kids if they're confused, they can play their league or our league. We don't tell them to push it towards one league or the other leagues.
Excuse me, Mr. Work, the JBL, for people who are watching, is a junior baseball league,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And you're from the
Yeah, we're
Little League.
We're Elm Park Little League. We're Little League International. They are part of a Cal Ripken organization. And both organizations are very good. I'm not here to attack either one. I'm just here to address some issues. And as the two leagues have been coexisting, Little League has been gaining in numbers and they have been losing in numbers. And this is how the fields were shared by enrollments. And we went to the Board of Rec years ago. It started then. We were on the short side. We didn't have opportunities to use the weekends. But now the numbers are starting to go the opposite way. And not once did Little League come up here and complain about it. We knew what we had to do. We knew what dates we had. And we made opportunities for our kids to play in different towns. So we actually hooked up with Clifton to share with their fields, to alleviate some of the fields in this town. So we actually had our kids playing over there, and we actually utilized their league, their fields, so our kids can actually play a normal amount of games. I also have a coaches list here, just to show you, the status of leagues compared to both leagues. Total of 69 coaches here. I'll give this to you also. 21 coaches were former EPJBL coaches. They're now coaching Little League. And they see the difference. We're trying to teach the kids the right way. We're trying to develop good citizens for the future. We try to teach them good sportsmanship, how to win and how to lose. Very important to learn how to lose, because you want to see how they react. You don't want them to start blaming. You want them to look into each other and push them to work harder to be successful. It's life. Also, I have two books I was going to show it to you. This is our financial fiscal report. We turn this in every year for our stipend. It goes right from the beginning to showing that we are certified or registered nonprofit organization. We turn this in every year. We get our letter from the IRS saying that we are a determination that we are a current nonprofit organization. We've been doing this for years. We put all our bank statements, our inputs, all our sponsors. We actually had 20 sponsors last year, more than about $10,400. But this is what we turn in every year for recreation. We also have a safety program. This is a program that Little League just started many, many years ago. Our safety plan has passed for the last 10 years. In New Jersey, Little League, I believe, is 100% compliant. Throughout the United States, 88% compliant. This has reduced accidents in baseball leagues by a total of 79%. This is why we're able to provide a great savings and get a considerable savings on our insurances. But I know we've been meeting with the other league, trying to get one league together. It's been frustrating at some times. We keep on thinking we're getting closer and closer, and we seem to be. We reached out 10 years in a row. I think our office has decided to stop. The last time they did say, they mentioned that they wanted to get together, but we're going to break up both leagues and have an independent recreation league. Now, you've got to consider the cost. Independent recreation league insurance costs alone for one league, instead of a big organization like Little League or even Cal Ripken, would be enormous expense, even with Jeff. I spoke with Frank Ravelli many years ago. He told me, you can't touch the league. We would be 3 times as low as what it would independently. So what are we looking at? Charge the kids $120 to play baseball? These people are having difficult times these days to pay $50, $60. So you don't want to take away that opportunity for people who are on the edge of playing baseball. So you want to keep them involved, keep them out of trouble. Are we against having 2 leagues in town? No. We've been working with them, sometimes peacefully, sometimes not. Like I said, I was surprised when they came making some accusations. We try to work with them. We try to share the fields. When we're not using them, we give them the ball. I worked with their Babe Ruth coaches a number of times when we weren't there. Guys use the field. Now, I know a lot of the coaches there. I involve volunteers. I work with them in different organizations. They're good volunteers. I have no issue with them. But some of the accusations were, I don't know, just ridiculous. They talk about doing the right thing. Well, I mean, you turn in your, we go and have a meeting every year with the Board of Rec. And we turn in the numbers, we turn in insurances, we turn in charters. Last year, they turned an insurance policy that was not proper. Now, how they got it, I don't know, but I have a copy of it right here. It's insurance coverage for interscholastic athletics and football. They're not interscholastic league. They're a recreation league. You mentioned interscholastic, scholastic. Effective dates, 2/1/11 to 2/1/12. Wasn't even enforced. They put the town of Elmwood Park at risk. They finally got their insurance on April 12th, the day before their opening day. They say doing the right thing. This is not doing the right thing. This is turning in wrong information, and they put the township of Elmwood Park at risk. That's all I got to say. But if you want to see these copies, I'll bring them up there. But,
Mr. Work, one of the things that I'd like to do, and I've asked our clerk administrator to try to set it up, is have a meeting with, I would say, 3 or 4 members of the Little League, 3 or 4 members of the JBL, possibly somebody representing the Board of Recreation, and see if we can talk this out. People have wanted to know why the council has not been involved in trying to settle this, and really the council is not involved in trying to settle this.
That's correct. I'm not here looking for a decision or...
What I'd like to do is, and you've proven that to me today, is you're here rebutting what they came at the last public meeting. I would like to see both groups together, talk it out, find out which is fact and what is fiction, and then move there. I've spoken to.
Fact right here.
Okay, I've spoken to a few people who said the Little League is staying, and the JBL is staying. Well, congratulations. I'd like both of you to stay, but let's stop the argument. Let's find out how we can produce this together. So Mr. Kazmark's trying to set that up, and if you can contact him and give us the name of 3 or 4 people, no more than that. I don't want a gang. And we'll try to get the same number from the other side and just iron some of these things out so that we can move it on. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You want these copies here? Or?
Yes.
And if you ever need these information for a fiscal report, I can make copies for these, for you later and look at them or safety corner.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard?
Bob Calero, 18 Beach Street.
Bob, you're going to have to sign that. We don't trust you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I just want to say a few things, and Keith touched on it a little bit. I am an officer with the Little League. I also am a district and state official with Little League Baseball. I'm very proud to say that I'm a part of that organization, and I was a member of the Junior Baseball League as well. What Little League offers to the children and the families in this community is far above anything that we could ever offer. Keith mentioned the safety plan. I'm very proud to say that I am the person that facilitates that safety plan to our volunteers, and they do a great job with it. In 10 years, going into our 10th season, we've had 2 reportable accidents that needed insurance claims. That's unbelievable. With 150 plus children and volunteers, that includes children and volunteers, 2 accidents in 10 years. All right, they should be commended. Our volunteers should be commended and following that plan. Now I'm going to take my Little League hat off, and I'm going to put my recreation hat on. A couple individuals have come to this podium and made mention of a problem they have with individuals being involved with Little League, but being on the Recreation Commission. I am a commissioner with the Recreation. I've been now going into my 2nd term. My associate, Rich DiLorenzo, was also in his 2nd term. I'm very proud to do that. And for someone to come to this podium and belittle us and say that we're doing the wrong thing for the children and for the families of this community is totally wrong. We do what we do for the Recreation Commission with a clear mind and never, ever take sides. Never, ever take sides. We do what benefits the children and the youth of our community. Will we vote on this lease that's going around at this point? I have to tell you, I would. Because in my best interest, for the youth of the community, it's something that needs to be done. But what I want to put to bed is, when we sit on that board, our Little League hats are off, and we go with a clear mind and support everything that needs to be supported in this town from a recreation basis. That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else? Both of you can sign in, and both of you can speak at the microphone.
They got to be married, though,
At the same time.
Don't gang up on me.
They got to be married, though.
31 years. I'm Kathleen Backer. My husband Stephen.
Will you speak into the mic, Kathy?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Kathleen Backer. My husband Stephen Backer. We've been residents here in town for 30 years. We have 31-year-old twin boys, so we put them right through the school system. My concern is what the councilman had mentioned earlier with the snow signs or whatever. These new paper signs are flying off all over town. They're not staying on. Well, confusion with the blizzard. That was 2 weeks ago, this Saturday. My son got a ticket. My neighbor next door got a ticket. So if this is not really enforced yet, why are tickets being given out? And my concern is the timing that they're giving you. That's saying 10 a.m. to 8 a.m. on an even day. Move it to the other side of the street. But now you're running into that odd day also if you're going during that time. Am I clear? I'm confused.
What do you do between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. on both sides? You can't park it.
You see, that was the confusion with the times that I mentioned before.
Were you talking middle of the road?
Let me just ask the attorney one. Brian, the police do enforce it, even though it's a trial?
No, it's an ordinance.
It's an ordinance.
It's passed by the council as an ordinance. So
Yeah, it's enforceable. Second of all, with the times, now, I spoke to some people about that already. Now, when that was originally written, we went over that 2 or 3 times. We changed the wording in that a couple of times. It still seems to be confusing. I read it over again, but the original meaning of that was between 8 a.m. in the morning, between 8 in the morning and 10 in the morning, there was no restriction either way.
Through you, Mayor, if I may.
Yeah.
Through you, Mayor. The 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. period when the road is snow covered is a transition period. It gives residents a 2-hour window in order to move their vehicles to the appropriate side of the street for that particular day. So that's the intent of having that 2-hour period.
Right.
What the council felt was unreasonable for residents is to have to go out and at the strike of midnight be moving their car from one side of the street to the other. So the thought process behind the ordinance, and this is in fact in place in other municipalities, is that between 8 and 10, that's probably the time that most people have either left for work or are leaving for work, and that 2-hour period as a grace period would give them the opportunity to not have to move their vehicle at one specific time.
Okay, then that's what's confusing, was that 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's not clear.
Some people are confused. They think that you can't park on either side.
My question, you just said 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. is the transition.
Right.
Correct.
Right. What do you do? I'm parking on this side. It's 8 o'clock. I get up, get in my car. This side's not plowed. What do I do?
See, the theory is that side should be done already.
You take your car and you move it to the other side of the street.
The theory is that the middle of the street, the thoroughfare part of the street, and the parking on the opposite side, of course, if it's still snowing, or if it started snowing at 7 a.m. or 5 a.m., there might be a problem there, but that's, it's a work in progress. But it's supposed to be plowed on that side of the street so you can move over there, sure. But if it's still snowing at the time, you got to understand that it's still snowing. It won't be plowed cleanly if it's still snowing. It's still going to snow. even though you move your car.
I don't know. We've been residents for 30 years, and we've always had it where you couldn't park on the one side of the street.
Right.
When the snow covered, there was no problem whatsoever. All the neighbors, we all got one home. Now it's chaos. Now you got everybody on the block that's got
We will,
2
as
3 cars, and they're trying to move on to the same side of the street. It's chaotic. It really
as
is.
Mr. Castiglia and the Councilman Castiglia indicated, we'll review that and see what we can do with it.
Yeah, we're going to review all of this. We welcome all the opinions and especially the complaints. We're going to work on it. We're going to see if there's something that we can do with it. If there isn't, like I said, it's on a trial basis. I mean, it could be. Does it have a sunset on it, or how
We have a lot
does
of
it work?
senior citizens on our block. I mean, I'm confused right now. I'm like, okay, what's like
The signs have been up so long, right? Last year we didn't get any snow. Last year was the trial period. We would have been beyond this by now. But I don't know if we were lucky last year by not getting snow or unlucky. But we didn't have that trial period last year. The signs are blowing away. Some of them, they're only temporary signs. So there's a problem there also.
Exactly.
We're going to try to work out as best we can. If it doesn't work out, I can't speak for the rest of the council. But if it doesn't work out, we're going to come up. We're going to make something work there. You know, even if we have to go back to what it was before. It's just the process, like I said, of them trying to plow the street from curb to curb. That's what they're trying to do. And a lot of towns, this works in a lot of different towns.
Thank you.
Here it's new to us. We'll have to see what happens.
Thank you.
In the meantime, the tickets are issued.
Tickets are issued. You could come in and appeal it, and I think the judge has had a few people talk
I'm
about
going
it.
to make a call to the DPW tomorrow and probably the police department also to make sure everybody's on the same page. It's even side, even date. Odd side, odd date. You have that 2-hour transitional period, and that's it, cut and dry. I can't understand. Yeah.
That Saturday night, it was like I think in the morning. I called the police department to find out why I could park.
And they
Goes
didn't.
to the desk and says, "Oh, hold on, let me ask somebody else." Okay? They had no idea. That's how stupid this town is. Or whoever decided to thing with both sides park.
But then they came back around to ticket everybody in the morning. My neighbor next door, she's got a young little baby inside, and I'm like, this is a blizzard situation. I mean, come on. They expect you to get out there, hurry up, you know, and it was terrible. It was
May I suggest to you that if you feel that strongly about it, we cannot dismiss the tickets, but you can come to court and present your case to the judge, and then he has the right to dismiss the ticket or not dismiss the ticket.
And you got caught for it.
It's good. Only if you lose. Only if you lose.
No, the cost should not be any different than if you plead guilty. The cost should be the same.
Oh, even if he's found guilty?
I don't think it was.
No, they don't. They're already factored into that. There's no additional fee to coming to court.
Oh, okay.
There's no penalty.
I'm wrong.
I have one other concern. You talked about fire hydrants before. Okay? If a person doesn't pay out the fire hydrant, are they being fined?
I have no idea.
I don't think. What did you say? Is that an ordinance?
Yes.
It is an ordinance?
It is an
They're
ordinance.
supposed to clean it out.
I believe-
Are they being fined? I have no idea.
Well, if I walked my dog one day, there was like 3 fire hydrants that weren't cleared out.
Well,
Well, may I?
yeah.
What the fire department was doing was going door to door in those houses and explaining to them that they were required to keep it clean. So that's what's been going on up to this point. But technically, it is an ordinance, and if you look in the handbook that the mayor has in his hand right now, you will see that it is,
On page 13, it tells you clean out the fire hydrant.
the thing is to try and avoid somebody being summoned. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what I tried to do this evening and explain it to the
Like that fire
public.
hydrant being blocked. Because see, your life is like his life. Because it's blocked,
Right.
they can't get to it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, 2 wrongs don't make a right. If yours is
You can't-
clogged, you should clean it out.
And you can't ordinance people to have some courtesy, you know. I mean, where I grew up, we had a fire hydrant in front of my house, and I used to feel honored to run out there with a shovel and clear it away for everybody. I thought I was doing something for the community. Yeah, but I guess that's a long time ago.
Thank you.
What I'm going to do is advise the fire department to have a letter sent to these people where the fire hydrant is in front of their house, just as a reminder each and every year, refresh their memory to please be cognizant of the fact that it's their obligation to keep it clean. This way we avoid any sentences.
I understand that, but it's common sense.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming in. Yeah,
I
well,
really think that if this was a trial, it shouldn't have been enforced where they're running around giving tickets.
Right.
No, it's not a trial.
no, by the word trial, I meant we're seeing, it is an ordinance already, it's in effect. By trial, you could change it again, you could remove the ordinance if need be.
Thank you.
Seeing what works best.
Anyone else who wishes to be heard?
Mayor, through you, if I could just clarify one of the comments that Mr. Calabro made when he came to the microphone. I just want to, and obviously this is a hotly debated issue between the baseball leagues in Elmwood Park. As a matter of fact, when I accepted the job here, this is one of the things they warned me about. However, I just want to state that at the last work session, we do have a legal opinion from Mr. Giblin indicating that any lease agreements concerning any borough property, which would also include any of the ball fields in town, would be a lease agreement entered with the mayor and council, not with the Recreation Commission. So, Bob, I know you mentioned that you would choose to vote on that. However, and I don't know if you were there for that portion of the work session, that clarification was provided to the mayor and council that it would be a vote of the governing body rather than a vote of the Recreation Commission. I just don't want rumors to spread further in the community once people start to watch the public meeting. Thank you.
Keith Work, 308 Gilbert Avenue. I understand there was someone speaking about a lease with the Bombers, the EPJBL. This was a copy that was given to me or dropped off on my mailbox last year. I'll leave it with Keith so you can look it over.
Keith, we actually have a copy in our office, but I'll be glad to take a second one if you'd like.
Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard? Since I mentioned it, everyone in town should have received our 2013 Waste Watchers Handbook Plus. The plus is for other things rather than just recycling. And as I indicated, access to fire hydrants, we have an ordinance 96-6, which gives you 24 hours to clean the area in front of the fire hydrant so that the fire department can get there. If you do not have one of these booklets, call my office, 201-796-1833, and my secretary will either get one over to you or I'll bring one over to you on my way home. But let us know. You should have one. Keep it in a good place. It'll last until next year, into February. So these were just mailed out. Did everyone on the council get one? Thank you. They were not mailed to the apartments because it does not affect the apartments. Snowing does, but not anything else. If there are no other questions, let me just re-indicate, if you're watching this and you just tuned in, cable, channel 77 or our own website, Tuesday 12 noon, Thursday 4 p.m., Friday 11 a.m. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Coletti, second.
Second.
Mr. Boncino, discussion. All in favor? Opposed? So ordered.